To the first live podcast of Oita Midtown Channel.
Welcome.
Hey. So I see here we have Silva, Lily, and maybe Savina.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. So this is our first podcast. So obviously it's gonna be a slow start, but we accumulated a lot of questions today. We'll just have a chill discussion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Tony, can you introduce yourself?
Why should I introduce myself? Okay. So Silva, do you have a question about me first? I see Silva is here, but I don't see him writing.
Tell me who you are.
Why do I have to tell? I'm Tony. I'm a Canadian and French Canadian. Actually, I'm 26. I'm a student at APU.
26.
Yeah, I'm 26. Student at APU. I'm third year student. Going to graduate in 2023. And yeah, that's about it. How about you? Who are you?
Okay, I'm Melvin. I'm from Malaysia. I'm the same as Tony, third year.
Third year?
Yeah, I'm going to be a third year.
True,
I'm much younger than you though. I'm 4 years younger than you. I'm 22.
Yeah.
So great to see you guys, and if you're new to the channel, welcome, and maybe watch our videos, the other videos that we have.
Yeah.
All right. So
basically the first 15 minutes we'll wait for maybe more people to come, but for people that are already in the podcast right now, well, the live stream, I guess we should say, you can ask questions through the chat. We have the live chat right here, so we have access to it. And then if you have questions also about the channel, we have access to the computer as well, so we can show you clips at the same time. Melvin has access to the computer, so ask us any question. Oh, I see Tim just joined us. What's up, Tim? Did you share on Instagram? Don't forget us. Share us on Instagram. Get as many people here. I think the main goal for us was to for this podcast. Obviously, it's a trial. It's the first time we do it, so it's really hard to get traction. People are very busy right now, and COVID is not easy on everyone. So, if we could help new students or foreign people that want to come live in Japan, work in Japan. Melvin, we have a lot of experience. We both speak. Well, I wouldn't say native, but
okay. How many languages do you speak? Let's.
I'm fluent in Japanese, fluent in English, fluent in French. Good skills in Spanish and beginner skills in Chinese.
Not even close.
Beginner skills. I said beginner
Not
skills.
Not even close to being a beginner.
Well, I got a question for Lily, but wait, shall we answer Lily?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lily said, Silva asked a question. Okay, why are you at uni at 26? Well, that's kind of mean. Silva, should I just give the question?
Nah, answer the question.
Well, truth is, okay, true. Why would you be at university at 26? I was working in Japan before, in Kobe, and at some point I just wanted to move in Japan. So in order to do that, to get a permanent visa, you need either to work in a specific job for a certain amount of year and then you can live here, or then, you marry someone and then you make your life here. So, I just decided to go to university instead of getting married early. Thank you for the question, Siva. Please ask better question as well. How about you? Why are you at university for 22?
What do you mean? It's normal to be at university at 22, right?
Then why are you in Japan?
Why am I in Japan? Well, if you didn't know that,
let me just put it, because I'm too laid back, so I talk behind the screen. So, yeah.
Okay, just let me clarify that I'm half Japanese. So my mom's Japanese. That's why I've been in Japan many times before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the environment in Japan, and the education quality in Japan is higher than most average countries, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to come to Japan to pursue my university studies.
Let me just, we got almost 16 people now. I'm really happy. Thank you for joining, everyone. So I just want to make clear that everyone can ask any question here. It's a very open debate, not really debate, but conversation. There's a little bit of an agenda, kind of. So we'll have small talks for the first 15 minutes just to let everyone gather. And then we'll have another self-introduction very quick to introduce us to people that might not know us. And then we'll talk about Japan. Oita is where we live. So we live in the southern area of Japan, more rural than Tokyo, I guess.
Well, if you compare to Tokyo, everywhere is rural.
Yeah, exactly. But let's just answer Lily's question. What is your favorite spot in Oita? It's a hard question.
Well, we plan to answer that later, though.
Yeah, we should keep that question for later, but I think it's more of a spot. I would say location is Kiyokawa, where we've been there for our last episode on the channel, which is up now. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it after the live stream. Kiyokawa just has great people and great experience over there. So whether the area is amazing or not, it's more of the the whole thing is very nice, more than just the area by itself. We have Levi Flamen. He said, I started undergrad at 33. Not everyone starts right after high school. Thank you. That's true. Everyone has their own timing. I totally agree with you. Thank you for supporting me. I love that.
I have a friend who started at like 30.
Yeah.
So
true story. Maybe I never told you, I think, but my dad went to university at 42 almost.
42.
Yeah, he just wanted to graduate from university. He already had a job and he was like, hey, hell, I'll just go to university.
That's good, yeah.
True story. So, so we'll have, what time is it now? It's 5. So until about 5:10, 5:15, we'll just have small talks and then we'll enter more of the deep in subjects of the podcast. But again, anyone, we have 20 people now. You can ask questions. You can talk in the chat with each other. We'll read it as we're talking. So the chat is here so I can see everything you're saying. If you want to see something on screen, you have access to the computer and we can show you guys live on stream what you want to see. So don't be scared.
Well, speaking about small talks, the weather is starting to get really hot in Oita.
Yes. If you've never been to Japan, I guess most viewers right now are in Japan or close to here.
Relatively speaking,
yeah,
it's hot for me.
Yeah.
Because I come from a hot country, right? So I don't like anything that's above like 25 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, it's not 25 degrees, but you know, you're dressed for 18 degrees or 17. So if it gets any hotter than that, you just want to take off your outer jacket or whatever.
Yeah. And one thing that's surprising is like Japanese people don't wear that much like shorts.
Yeah, true,
right?
True.
But it's the hottest country is Japan. Like my mom, when she came to Japan, she just like stayed inside the whole trip. But even if it's super hot and super humid, Japanese don't wear shorts that much.
They dress up.
Yes. By the way, Savina said, the question is, why Oita?
Why Oita? Well, I came to Oita. Well, if you didn't know, we live in Beppu. Yeah. Beppu City, Oita. Which is
before you answer. Savina, can you answer, why did you choose Oita then? Why did you choose Oita? Answer while we're answering as well.
Well, Beppu City is where Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, or APU for short, is located. Yeah, and I kind of chose this place because this university because of the whole multicultural environment. Like 50% of the students are foreigners. So as a half Japanese myself, it was much easier for me to adapt to the university environment. Rather than going to a university where 90% of them are Japanese people, right?
True.
So that's why I chose Oita. Well, I chose Beppu to be exact.
True.
What about you?
For me, it's even more simple than that, right? So I used to live in Kobe, Hyogo Prefecture, which is very close to Osaka and Kyoto. And I've been living there for almost 2 years and a half, and I'm Canadian, so big environment, nature, that's where I'm from. So I was kind of looking for a university that was more in not secluded, but more like Canada-like.
Canada-like.
Yeah. And I didn't choose Oita as much as I chose APU. Obviously, APU was the main reason at first, but I'd never regretted my choice, definitely. It's for the nature and the reputation that it had.
I mean, when I came to Beppu, I didn't know. I mean, my mom's from Kagoshima, which is also in Kyushu. Yeah. I went to Kagoshima like more than 10 times already. Yeah. Like 20 times, I would say. Yeah. But Oita, I never been to Oita before, and I didn't know what Oita had to offer. Yeah. But after starting this Oita Midtown Channel, we kind of like traveled around Oita and got the opportunity to, see Oita. Yeah. Yeah. True. So, like right now, I know for a fact that
Oh wait, I have Milo. Milo, the guy from the ferry. So, continue your story. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Don't interrupt me.
Okay, I just want to say hello to our viewers. I want to be polite. Okay. Sorry.
So, anyways, like right now, because I live in Oita, it's very easy for me to say why I chose Oita.
Well, I think in the first place, it's not that you choose Oita, right?
Yeah.
You come to Oita for a reason, right?
I chose APU, and then I chose. I would probably say that I chose Oita. Yeah. Because like all the nature, all the people, even the city itself is like a proper, developed city. Yeah. Not like a really rural town or whatever. Yeah. So, like in Oita, you have all the things that you need, like the city, the nature, the sea, the onsens, the mountains, whatever.
Yeah. For our fans of onsen abroad, if we have viewers from abroad or viewers from maybe Tokyo area or something, if you're all about the onsen, the hot springs. I mean, it's quite insane here. If you go to like Beppu, even Oita, like just as a city, has like so many, like crazy amount of onsen.
Oh, by the way, Silva asked that if we could do a channel like this for places out of Oita. would we do it?
Would we do it?
What area? I would definitely do it.
I think I want.
I want to go somewhere that I've never been to before. Like, for example, Okinawa or Hokkaido.
Yeah.
Like, Okinawa would be a great place. But, you know, I think the activity is going to be quite limited. Because, like, if you don't go in the summer, you can't go into the sea and whatnot.
Well, obviously, if you go, like, Sapporo and, like, you know, Okinawa, obviously, like, you get more content. If you're thinking about a YouTube channel, obviously when you make a YouTube channel, and you can see it in our episode as well, is like, you know, you need to create content. You can just, people don't want to see you just like walking for like 20 minutes or just talking for 20 minutes, all right? They just want to see you enjoy and be like, this is when you're making plans to go somewhere. For example, if you're trying to go to Sapporo, obviously you're going to watch someone that lives in Sapporo.
Yeah, true.
So obviously Sapporo and Okinawa are pretty good, I would say. I just lost the chat. Sorry. By the way, Milo, if you have any question, you're a new student at APU. Obviously, we can help you. I know in the boat you ask a lot of questions. Now it's time to ask it. And if you guys want to have a chat in the live chat as well, you can just do that, and we'll just answer you as well. We have about 4 minutes, and then we'll start with the self intro and talk also about the channel. So if we have a lot of free time for now.
So our school starts in, I don't know, 9 days?
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
April. So, like, do you have anything to do until then?
So today was the first live podcast. So obviously there was kind of a bit of preparation before we actually hit up the podcast. But then for people that don't know me in Japan, I'm also, I work for, work.
You do?
I work for Oita Midtown Channel, so I do videos for them, but I also work for TV stations in Japan, NHK and OBS. So I have studio recordings with OBS this week.
This week?
Yes, but nothing has come out yet. It's going to come out next month. No, actually this month. Yeah, first episode is coming out this month. So if you have cable television, OBS number 3 onto your television, Tuesday. There you go. Tuesday at 7:30, I think.
All right.
Here's my plug.
There's a little bit of self-promotion from Tony.
Well, self-promotion. There you go. Please watch the channel, but please watch TV as well. Tim. This is Tim. He has a Russian name. I'm not too sure, but I think that's Tim. So that's Tim said, "What is your favorite place in Japan?" In whole Japan. Oh.
Well, to be specific, I'll say Kagoshima. Well, I kind of like grew up in.
Well, yeah, you're from Kagoshima, so obviously there's an
yeah.
Favorite place in Japan?
Would you say Kobe?
Well, obviously I have some feelings towards Kobe because my girlfriend lives in Kobe, and I lived in Kobe for 2.5 years. But I would say like Wakayama. Wakayama Prefecture is close to Osaka as well, and there's a place called Kumanokodo, and I've been 3 times now.
I want to go there.
Yeah. You just do camping for like 3 days on the 1,000 years old road that Pilgrim? Yeah, the Pilgrim used to go there for like maybe like kind of prayer and like for self growth. And this route was preserved the whole time, and you can still use it. It's a 3 days camp trip around Wakayama Prefecture. It's an amazing experience. Really, really great.
Well, Tim asked if you ever been to Shikoku.
Yeah, I've been to the four prefectures of Shikoku. So me and my boys, shout out to Endo and the clique. 3 days trip around Shikoku with the car, and then we came back to Kobe because Kobe is connected to Shikoku by a bridge. So yes, I did. Did you?
I did not actually.
I love Tim is like, it's me, hahaha. Yeah, I cannot read Russian. My bad.
I did not go to Shikoku before,
but I would love to. It's not too far from here.
Yeah, we can literally take a ferry there.
Yeah, so, true.
I would like to go to Ehime and also Kagawa.
Yeah,
Prefecture.
True. They have some of the craziest experience. Oh, camera's moving.
They have beautiful meats there.
There's everything. Is like, yeah, the beef and the noodles. They said the soba over there. That's
udon.
Yeah, udon is quite famous. By the way, if we have like friends in here, if you can like share on Instagram or whatever, try to get people to come here. We're all about just having a discussion.
Yeah.
Between us, APU students, and if there's people abroad, obviously it's difficult for people abroad to join us, but I'm still hoping that there might be some people awake.
Do you have any friends that are a farmer or a butcher?
Butcher. Milo, that's a good question.
Farmer, we do, right?
Yeah, I mean, we personally have a project to cultivate rice in Japan. We have 2 rice fields close to the area here. Yeah. And so, I'm sort of a farmer, and I have...
sort of a farmer.
Yeah, I guess we have like hundreds of farmer friends as well.
Yeah. But butcher now?
Butcher, I have one in Kagoshima, but he's not actually a friend. So when I went on a trip to Kagoshima, I had a friend in Kagoshima that introduced me to that person. And so yes, I guess I have a butcher friend, but farmer, yeah, definitely. If you live in Oita, you'll get...
Timas, when would you send me all photos from the last... Okay, the last trip, if you didn't know, we went to Lodge Kyokawa.
Never.
We went rafting. Yeah. And then... So the thing that happened to my phone was that I dipped the whole phone in the water just to see what I can shoot. That was a very bad idea. Yeah. Because my camera is now, not really usable. This camera
is it's effed up. Camera doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. So, anyways, like, I had my phone in the rice, like a packet of rice for the first few days. I took it out like yesterday or something. So I still didn't have any time to upload the photos. But if you want to, if you want me to send it to you, I'll send it to you later. That was a bit of a nonsense talk right there.
Yeah. Well, I think so. The thing is, your phone was supposed to be waterproof, right? Well, it didn't really work out.
It was worth it because the rafting was amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We should go again next
time. Yeah, if anyone comes to Oita Prefecture or new students in APU, Kyokawa Lodge in Bungo-no, which is a little bit far from Beppu in Oita, but watch our episode. You'll get the great information you need. Travel there. It's cheap. It's beautiful. There's a lot of activities, and you can stay over. People are nice. Kyokawa Lodge. Here's our plug.
Definitely. All right, I think...
Yeah, so we've crossed the 15 minutes mark. So there's not that many people. We're still 16, so I guess most people here know us. But I guess I'll self-introduce again.
Yeah.
So my name is Anthony Norman. I'm Canadian, French-Canadian from Quebec. I've been living in Japan for 6 years. I've lived all the way from Tokyo to Osaka, Kobe, and then I came to Oita. I've traveled from Tokyo all the way south, but I've never been up. So Tohoku and Hokkaido area, I've never been. I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I'm a third-year student at APU. APU was introduced to you by Dogen. So people that know Dogen, he talked about APU. So watch his episode as well. Very good episode about Oita Prefecture and APU as well. And
me.
Is that a good introduction? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. My name's Melvin. I'm half Malaysian, half Japanese. I came from Penang, Malaysia, and I came to Japan a lot of times before. This is my 3rd year actually living in Japan, but I used to sort of do a short stay in Kagoshima when I was younger. I speak 4 languages: Malay, Chinese, English, and Japanese, obviously.
That's way too many. Jesus Christ.
Well, you speak almost the same amount. And I speak a little bit of Spanish, I'll say.
Yeah. Spanish isn't too hard once you speak like English and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but like for you, if you know French, it's much easier, I think.
Yeah. French is, I mean, it's basically the same. Even though grammar is very similar. I don't know if do you think David is in the chat? David, if you're in the chat, leave us a message. I really want to hear questions from David. David has good questions as well. So anyway, that's our introduction. How about we...
Okay, let's go with what's Oita Midtown.
Okay, so we have a guy that keeps sending messages. It's really annoying. If you can delete him, delete the message as well. I don't know what.
Oh, it was deleted already.
Yeah, but I deleted it, but he sent another one. All right. So anyways.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, let's talk about Oita Midtown Channel.
Try to keep it respectful in the chat. Obviously, there's... we're working for companies. Obviously, we're not here to have... we're here to have good talks, but... Stupid questions are obviously not really nice. So please keep it respectful. Our Shacho is watching us. There's a lot of people watching this stuff right now. So please be respectful to everyone. Let's introduce Midtown, and then we have questions from Sabina. So Midtown Channel is what you're watching right now. Midtown Channel is the channel we've created for... I don't know how up to where we can say, but we're working for the prefectural government, yes, we're making promotional videos of the prefecture because we want to introduce Oita, which is not really known. Right? I guess most people that come to Japan, it's like Osaka, Kyoto, and stuff.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Hokkaido.
So we try to introduce a bit of different perspective.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a learning process. creating a YouTube channel is really hard. This is the perfect example. We're doing a live stream, so it's really hard. So that's pretty much Oita Midtown Channel. Our goal is to present you Oita Midtown in a different perspective.
If you have any spare time to watch our videos, go and check it out. Our videos, we have Oita University making the videos and us APU students making the videos as well. So for those under our video, it's titled. You have in the thumbnail you have like traveling with APU on the top right corner.
Yeah.
So you know right away which one is our video. So check all of them out if you're free, but it's a lot of videos to watch. Yeah. But if you're ever interested in coming to Oita, it's better to watch some videos and look at the.
Yeah, exactly. I think most of our videos, obviously people that live in Oita, they'll be like, oh, I've been there, so they either want to see a different experience or they've already been there, so they're not really interested. But for people abroad, it's a really good insight into like how foreigners could enjoy the countryside of Japan, because Oita is very countryside if you compare it to most prefecture.
Sabina said, Tony, do you have encountered anything new even though you've been living in Japan for so long?
I guess she means in the recent time. Yeah, for sure. Like I'm saying, if you live in Japan as a foreigner, it's just like a whole learning process. And you, please, Savina, tell me in the chat if you've learned anything, or anyone here, what you've learned while you came in Japan. But for me, it was really, I don't have anything specific, right? Every day is a learning process in Japan, I guess, even after 6 years.
Well, I think that, Japan is a very long country.
Yeah, true.
You have the northern part of Japan and the southern part. So the whole culture can be quite different.
Yeah, true.
So for example, if you live in Hokkaido, the northern part of Japan, the most northern part of Japan, and then if you live in Kyushu, for example, the culture can be much different.
It's much looser in the south, much looser than people that live in Tokyo. Oh my God, when you come to Kyushu, you'll be blown away. It's much looser. Even if you do baito in Oita, it's so much easier than in Tokyo. Yeah,
so you have been living in Kobe, so I think there was a little bit of a difference when you came to Kyushu, right?
Yes. So many. It was like a good change actually, because I was kind of stuck in this new world. I didn't really have a culture shock, right? When I came to Japan, the culture shock was, obviously it's different, but I was really just absorbing the culture more than anything else, right?
I think the whole attitude,
yeah, the attitude, different. Yeah, but it definitely gave me a breath of I live somewhere that's less strict than Kobe, Tokyo, and stuff. So it was really good for me to come here. Palijo.
That's my friend right there, actually.
Let me join.
She asked, let me join to your trip next time. Oh, well, definitely. I'll be more than happy for you to join the trip. But, we're not going to have guests every single day.
Let me answer, Siva.
We're not going to have guests every single day, but, every single time we shoot. But, obviously, if you want to, join our video, join in one of our shoots, hit me up.
Yeah,
we will arrange that. Yeah.
And I think the first season, for people that have seen the episode of the first season, is really it's our close friends that came with us. Obviously, like I said, it's a learning process. We didn't want anyone that we don't actually know that much, because otherwise it's really easy to get in trouble or whatever. So for second season, we got used to it. So anyone new students, if you just want to be on a YouTube video for once, just hit us up. We're super open to getting new people on the channel and allowing, I guess, students to experience the countryside as well. Obviously, when we go shoot somewhere, we have a car, so we can go to places that are not reachable for you usually.
If you're very comfortable in front of the camera and you can talk and stuff, then like Silva, for example, he talks a lot on camera.
Yeah, Silva is so funny. Jesus Christ. watch every episode that Silva is on. It's so funny. Jesus Christ.
Silva was shocked about Japanese people respecting the traffic lights.
How can you be shocked about that?
That's a traffic rule, Silva.
Aren't you supposed to respect the light?
That's how traffic lights work.
Yeah, it's one thing that's also crazy. So the first time I came to Japan, I also traveled the rest of Asia, and I've been to many other countries. I would say without pulling one country, but there in Southeast Asia in general, the light are not respected, and it was insane for me. I was just when can I cross, when can I not cross? It's just run for your life. Just try to get across. It's just a funny thing. Anyway, Silva, culture shock. Okay, that's what he said here.
Japan is amazing. Kobe and Beppu look similar. I wouldn't say so.
By the way, Milo is the guy I met on the ferry when I came back from Kobe, right? This is the guy.
I wouldn't say so though, because I've been to Kobe.
Yeah.
And Kobe is more like a
Yeah.
Well,
they're both port town. They're built on the mountainside. So if that's what you mean, yeah. But I mean, as of like the Finki, the atmosphere is very different, I guess.
Well, if you compare like Oita and Hyogo Prefecture, it's quite different, I would say, because like the whole geography of where Oita and Hyogo is at.
Yeah, it's just more developed down north. Up north, I guess, not down.
Because like on the east side of Oita you have the sea, and on the western side you have the mountains and everything. Which is great, amazing mountains. Like we have the whole Aso region and the Kyushu region. The mountains.
Yeah, like I mean, it's similar if you talk about like a landscape, but it's still a little bit. I wouldn't disagree, but I don't know. You've been here for only 2 weeks, Milo. Give yourself 1 or 2 years. Well, you'll see what I mean.
I do think that every prefecture has its own specialty.
Yeah, true.
Like something that really stands out from other prefectures.
Yeah, by the way, to our watchers, viewers, we're 20 in the chat, so the numbers are going up and down, so that's very nice. Thank you for coming. If you can invite your friend, we're going to go in the Q&A soon. So it's going to be all about having a discussion with the chat, which we're already kind of having, but we just want to talk more.
Oh, actually, let's go with the questions that were asked before.
But sorry, I'm just going to finish my point. Sorry. The new students, if you have new students in AP House or anywhere, just invite them here so we can talk about your new APU life or anything. We have many advice, good tricks, and how to make the most of your life. So please invite them. Please ask them to join. Thank you. And we've compiled so many questions. So shall we go through?
Yeah. So if you didn't know, we asked people to ask us questions beforehand. So that we get more content in our video. So the first question in chronological order of the questions asked, what is your best experience living in Oita? What would you say?
Best experience living in Oita? Well, I mean, working for television, definitely. It's something I had tried before. But it was just like really hard in Osaka. It's really hard to enter like the business of like doing modeling or TV. So when I came here, the fact that I managed to do it, and like right now I do it on almost daily basis, I would say like that's pretty much my best experience here. Just the trust that people gave me, and all the way, like it's even getting bigger now. So who knows? That's I guess my personal experience is just that. Yeah. How about you?
Me, I think like traveling around Oita was the best experience. Like what we did with Oita Midtown Channel. Yeah. So before I actually started.
Shout out to Mudra.
Just join before I actually started the whole Oita Midtown, I didn't have the opportunity to go around Oita and enjoy Oita to the fullest. But through this, I got to really know what is special about Oita, what Oita has to offer to us students.
Well, just like the last day, you had a message from one of your friends saying like, how the hell do you find these spots and stuff, right? I think a lot of things in Oita are just so hidden. They're not on the websites, they're not really on YouTube. It's just like, hey, like for example, me, I just take my car and I get lost. I get lost with my car, and actually what happens is I find crazy spots and then I show them to my friend. And they even end up on the show. Hey, Milo, why do you say sorry? Don't be sorry, bro. Everyone has their own opinion. It's very nice, thank you. And please share your opinion, not stop, okay? We're not trying to be negative about it. Mudra said, Tony, what kind of an RA were you?
He's not an RA anymore.
Yeah, so RA, for people that might not know, RA is a resident assistant. So I used to be one of the responsible of the new students at the dormitory of APU, our university. And I mean, it was pretty chill. I'm just here to have a good time, just like on this podcast. I'm not really, you see, I have my cap, I'm just laying back. We're just here to have a good time. But at the same time, like, I'm serious about my job. So like, if I catch someone doing something they're not supposed to do, then, I'll be the first one to just tell you. So I guess I was kind of strict for people that don't like to respect rules, but the other people, they're just like thinking I'm pretty chill with it, I think.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Your friend said, please say hi to me, Melvin, to Kachun. But I'm not too sure about the name.
Hello, Kachun. Hope you are having fun with your video, and I think you're playing game right now. I see you on Discord.
Yeah, we can spy on you on Discord and Instagram. We got our cell phones there and computers. Don't think we don't see you.
Thank you for watching anyways. The second question, what is your favorite restaurant in Oita?
Don't
need a pen.
Sorry, I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry, guys. It's Tane. I think most people that are APU students might have heard about it or you've been there. Tane is kind of an Indian restaurant. So I think it's a Japanese dude that traveled in India and actually learned how to make proper Indian curry. And it's just so amazingly good. So yeah,
it's in Beppu, by the way.
Yeah, if you come to Beppu, Tane, Tane. Tane.
Yeah, I think for me it will be there's a place in Usuki City. Yeah, it's called Yamadaya, where they sell
the fugu place.
Fugu, yes. Yeah. That's one of the best fugu. I've never really eaten a lot of fugu, pufferfish, to be honest. But I went there. It was amazing. It was really great. I mean, like they have their, another shop that's open in Tokyo. Yeah. And this shop has like 3 Michelin stars. Yeah. By the way, I just want to have this discussion right here. We're 15 right now. Most of, I guess, looking at the chat, most of us are from Beppu. Tell us what is your favorite restaurant. I want to see new restaurants. So please, Tim, David, Savina, everyone, please tell me what is your favorite restaurant in the chat. I want to see. Tim said, let's eat something tonight. Yes. we should. Wait for us at Beppu Station. We'll be there. We will contact you later. Tim said, do you have any plan of expanding your content? For example, not only about... well, we asked it earlier, but the thing is we are working sort of for the government, for the prefectural government. So we are sort of obligated to shoot for Oita. If it's for a personal project, obviously... I want to do it all across Japan. People that know me, I want to work for television. So yeah, I want to do it everywhere. But for Oita Midtown Channel, it's going to be focused for Oita. If you have any job opportunities for us to shoot outside of Oita, please hit us up. Yeah, exactly. If there's a company watching us right now, please send us a contact. Okay. Tim said, I am in the mountain right now. I don't know why you are in the mountain. Yeah, how the hell are you watching this live stream? Crazy guy. Okay, what will be the average or estimated cost to fully enjoy what Oita has to offer for tourists? Wait, that was a long sentence. How much money do you need to travel around Oita, to put it simply? Oh, that's a good question. Well, it depends on what type of tourist you are. You know, there's a gourmet tourist, there's nature tourist, there's, these tourists that come here for like a month. Like I met a guy before COVID happened. He traveled here for almost a month just in Oita. But Oita is much cheaper than anywhere else in Japan, for sure. Yeah. So, it really depends on what kind of trip that you want in Oita. A lot of the places you can go with a rental car. So the only thing that you need to pay for is gas and car rental service. Well, if you don't want to, you can take the train or taxi as well. The food itself is not really that expensive. Like if you go to places that sell like pufferfish, for example, that I went to, it's gonna be quite a bit expensive, but like normal food, you can really enjoy cheap food throughout Oita with a reasonable price. Definitely more reasonable than going to Tokyo or Kyoto and Osaka and stuff. Yeah, I'll say like 2,000 or 3,000 yen for food per day. Yeah. And then the car rental is like 3,000 yen. Yeah, there's a lot of cheap companies, but it's definitely better to rent a car here than to just travel. Yeah, and a lot of places you just need to pay a small amount of price for, the fee that you pay for to enter the facility. Entrance fee, I'll say. Oh, Dana, thank you for joining. Dana, sorry, it took a long time to answer your question. So Dana is, she's the one taking care of the volunteering group that I created on Facebook. Oh, yeah, right? Dana, yeah. So Dana said, what do you think is unique about Oita? So many things. But for me, I think is, like I said earlier, most things are not documented in the way that if you go to Kyoto, you already know which spots are very popular. And even local places are kind of, you can find them on the net. But a lot of places in Oita, it's like you have to look for it to find it. For example, like Tsukuhara, right? Tsukahara. Yeah. Sorry guys, made a mistake. Tsukahara. For example, like going over there, it's not really like something you find on the net. You might find a little bit of information here and there, but you just go with your car and you're like, damn, how did I end up here, right? I think most places, like for me, it's more like the uniqueness is how going on an adventure is worth it in Oita. Yeah. This guy asked, how close are you to your 2-year expiration date? I think he meant the visa. Yeah, right? I mean, expiring soon, but the university helps us renew the contract. That's a weird question, but I'll answer it. For me, I got a 4-year visa as a student. So I got my full year. That's a very difficult question to answer. Yeah. Tim said, you said the coffee shop in Oita. It's quite popular right now. Yeah, people go there I see it on Instagram a lot. Oh yeah, true.
Again, if you just joined the live stream, you can leave us questions. We'll answer it right away. You can have discussion between yourselves as well. We read the chat right here. Right here, sorry. we have the chat right here, so I read it as it goes. We answer you, so you guys don't be afraid to talk. We answer right away.
What is the most underrated place in Oita?
Underrated. Can you answer first? Let me think.
I think, like, okay, Bungo Ono City in Oita is very underrated. Just because it doesn't have hot spring. You know, Oita is a hot spring prefecture of Japan. It's where all the hot springs are located. Like not all, but where it has a very high concentration of hot springs. So people who come to Oita mainly go for hot springs, but Bungo Ono doesn't offer any hot springs. But they have like great mountains, great river, great nature. So I think it's very underrated because if you want like a really nice outdoor activity, you should really go to Bungo Ono.
Yeah, I think that's one of the thing, right? Oita is all about onsen, so when you search for Oita, you just see onsen areas, but actually Bungo Ono is very underrated.
Like even Saike City, for example, they have very, very, very fresh seafood, which is not really marketed towards the foreign audiences. Yeah,
it's almost like there's so much marketing for the onsen that some other stuff get left behind, but Oita is so much more. But underrated. I think I would have to go with the same for you, by the way.
Well, if you like history as well, you can go to like Kunisaki area at the northern part of Oita, or even Usuki City in Oita.
And Tim said APU is the most underrated.
APU, well, definitely, APU is a great university.
Yeah, it's a great university. Well, when I came here, I didn't get any like advice to come here. I just ended up here, and it was a really good choice.
Yeah, it needs to be known.
By the way, Showtime just joined. Showtime, こんにちは。
こんにちは。
質問があれば日本語でも聞いてもいいです。どうぞ。いや、日本の方もいらっしゃいましたら、もう日本語で聞いてもいいので、それを日本語で答えますので、ぜひお願いします。Then we have, is that your friend?
I do not know.
Who is Saitama Totally Drew?
I have no idea.
Is that an anime?
Might be a YouTuber.
Well, I'm happy for the question, but I have no idea what that is.
Okay, next question. Your favorite episodes so far?
For the We Shadow on the channel?
Yeah.
Favorite episode? Well, I would have to go with like climbing Mount Yufu, which is the first. So one episode has 4 segments, right? So I think this was the
first segment.
First segment. So first episode, first segment, we climbed Yufu. For people that live in Beppu, you might know about Yufuin. Yufuin has a kind of sort of volcano mountain, which is called Yufudake, and we climbed it, and it was just so much fun. It was like, shout out to Siva for running almost a marathon and then climbing a mountain, and shout out to Melvin for climbing a mountain with a camera and.
Yeah, it was tiring. It was hell.
But it was just like the whole project came to life, I feel like, at this point for me. So yeah. How about you?
I think when we okay, I'm not stressing this enough, but I really, really, really enjoyed when we shot that Lodge Kyokawa.
Wait. Yone just sent me a message through line. Yone, you can talk in the chat. Please, Yone, talk in the chat.
Okay.
Yes, Uchinari is underrated. Thank you. That's true.
Lodge Kyokawa, I'll say.
Yeah.
Lodge Kyokawa, it's really a great place. Like I said, it's in Bungo Ono City, the city that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It has great nature, great river. I really, really, really liked it, and it was my favorite. Partly because I didn't have to stress too much about having to shoot scenes. Edit them later. It was really a relaxing shot because it was our very last episode as a team of 5. So now we're the team of 2 now.
Shout out to the whole team, me, Melvin, Selena, Lily, and what's his name? Sila. Okay. Yeah, great team. Thank you for being here. Now it's gonna be me and Melvin, but who knows? They might come back as guests. So please watch. Oh wait, we should wait for the announcement. Okay. I didn't say anything, guys. You didn't hear anything.
Are there any Muslim restaurants in Oita?
A lot.
Surprisingly, yes, because Beppu, we have a lot of Muslim students in Beppu, especially from countries like Bangladesh, or even Indonesia. So we have a lot of halal restaurants.
Yeah.
That sells like Bangladeshi food or Indonesian food,
Yeah.
Which are all certified.
Yeah.
So don't worry if you come to Oita, like Beppu to be specific. Don't worry when you come and you can't find any Muslim food, because you can for sure find any halal food.
Yeah, exactly.
Beppu.
I think like even one thing is surprising is by the way, we're at the low point of our podcast. Obviously, after 45 minutes, a lot of people have to go do some things. But if you have friends that you can invite, or just share the live stream with your friends on Instagram, Line, whatever, please invite. Let's have a conversation. It's COVID. We don't have too much conversation. People are stuck inside. So please invite your friends. Continuing. Mm-hmm. So it's surprising how much halal food is in the supermarkets.
Even in the supermarket.
Yeah, I don't know about Oita, but I know in Beppu, you definitely won't have problems.
One great thing about APU is that they actually sell halal meat.
Watch Dogen video if you want more information. Dogen has very good information about that.
Yeah, like it's not everywhere where you can like buy halal meat in the university itself.
Yeah.
So it's very friendly towards Muslim, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if you go to a restaurant and you say like, listen, I cannot eat this, like you have food restrictions for your religion or allergies, like people are kind of respectful with that, and they'll just kind of prepare your meal without what you're required.
Yeah, just because of the relatively high concentration of Muslim in Beppu.
We're the highest concentration, I think, after Tokyo, basically. I asked the question. I'm not too sure if the data is real, so I would have to check that. But what I've heard is we're the second biggest concentration of foreigners in the city in Japan. So obviously, it's very convenient. And Tim said,
how do you get good at Japanese?
How do you get good at Japanese?
I think, like, do what you like while learning. Like, for example, if you like reading or playing games or even watching anime or whatever, just immerse yourself in the Japanese environment.
Like the mistakes you can make is like make friends from your country and just hang out with them. That's a big mistake. It sounds bad, but like immersing yourself. Like for example, when I went to Japanese school personally. Like people from the same country, like for example Korean or Vietnamese or Indonesian, they hang out all together, which is fine because you have the same culture, you speak the same language. But the problem that it causes is that you don't get the same opportunity to speak Japanese, right? You're always stuck with the same group. As for me, I was kind of the only one from, a European or American country. So I was, obviously I was friends with these people, but when I hang out, I would have to hang out with like most likely Japanese. And I think that was actually a plus for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, put yourself 100% in a Japanese environment.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. By the way, showtime. この収録は何時まで? Well, until 6:30.
一応6時半までです.
So it really depends if we get more people to join. Like for now, we're getting high and lows, so not too sure. But if we have more people that come after, then we might extend it. But for now, it's 6:30. 6時半まで予定です.
What was your first baito in Japan? What were you nervous in the interview? Baito means part-time job in Japanese.
Yeah, baito is arubaito, which comes from German. It seems like it's part-time job.
My first part-time job was at a place where they sell pudding.
Oh, so yours is the
Okamotoya Baiten. I don't know if I can say that on camera, but were you nervous in the interview of your first day? I would be lying to myself if I said that I was not. I'm even nervous right now. It's not even an interview to begin with. What about you?
Oh my God. I mean, truth is, the first interview I got, that was in Kobe. I had interviews before, but they were not really job. They were just like, shady stuff in Tokyo. I'm an honest guy. There was some shady stuff going on in Tokyo. I just refused everything, right? So, but the first proper interview and the first proper baito, part-time job I had in Japan was in Kobe. And I didn't go through the right door to go in the building. So I was like sitting on a bench waiting for someone to pick me up for the interview. Only to notice that no one was coming and I was an hour late for the interview.
That was awkward.
And I worked for this company for almost 3 years and the guy never believed me. I said, listen, I was here almost an hour. I wasn't late. I just took the wrong door. I was like, I don't believe you. You were late. So Matthew, it's been 4 years since the event. It's true. I was there before the time. I was not late.
Firdaus.
So I was pretty nervous, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. My friend Firdaus said hi. Hello.
Melvin, you're so cute. I agree. Oh, Corona. I keep my distance. I'm just kidding. So, is he from Malaysia?
Yeah, he's from Malaysia.
I see.
Great to see you here. I tried to call you and ask you to join the stream, but you didn't answer. Obviously, you were sleeping. Not surprised.
It's like when I call Tim or David to go somewhere, they always answer at like 2 p.m. Jesus Christ, you guys need to wake up early. Tim, wake up early.
Yone asked,
welcome to the chat.
Finally, you're here.
Yone was a guest on the show. If you want to see the best reaction, watch Yone's episode.
What do you guys think how well you can survive in Japan only with English? Well, in Japan, like, if you go to big cities like Tokyo or Kyoto or Fukuoka, you mostly will have no problem. And even if you come to Beppu, it's very, like, the whole city, like I said earlier, it's very, international. So you get people who speak English a lot. Yeah. So I personally think that you won't have any problem if you come to places like Beppu, Tokyo, or Kyoto, Fukuoka, whatever. But if you go to a more rural area, for example, like Saga Prefecture.
I'm listening to you. I'm making promotion on my Instagram.
Okay. Like Saga Prefecture or Miyazaki, you will have a little bit of a hard time, going around these places. It's better to have people who speak Japanese together with you.
Yeah. I think it's definitely possible, but I wouldn't say it's worth it. If you want to have like a quality of life in Japan, and to not be stuck in this kind of like English pattern where the thing is you don't get in touch with the real Japan if you don't speak Japanese, is my opinion. So it is possible to survive, and I've seen people that have been here for almost 15 years with barely no Japanese, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah.
Tim asks, is part-time job helpful for self-growth as a person in general? I heard that the richest people had Baito for at least once in their entire life. Stop being on your phone.
I'm making promotion.
Okay.
Guys, I'm making promotion.
I would say, yeah, it's a really good thing that you can do for your own self-improvement. Like if you work in for example, the food and beverage sector.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a very different experience that you can get from usual job. So, you have to please your customer, you have to be polite and so on. It really builds your discipline.
Yeah, and like you learn the Japanese manner as well.
So even if you do not need the money, it's, it's better to try at least like once doing a part-time job. So I've only like really went to a part-time job like in one place. So that was enough for me to experience and understand. It was not a bad experience at all. I really enjoyed. Like a lot of the places in Japan, we have nice managers. So I don't think you should worry too much.
They're kind to foreigners. If you're a foreigner and you get a job in Japan, usually they are more complacent with you.
Yeah.
But I would say like I work for an izakaya as not first job, but first real 100% Japanese job. So the job I had in Kobe, I could speak English at work with it and get away with it. But the first time I really got a Japanese job, I was working for an izakaya.
Excuse me.
Yakitori. So basically grilled chicken izakaya. Izakaya is a Japanese bar, by the way. And yeah, my Japanese just skyrocketed from that point because I had to listen to customers order in Japanese and they're getting drunk. So the accent is harder to pick up. And it is true that my Japanese got better from that point. So self-growth, but also Japanese growth, and just like overall, you should get a job in Japan. Definitely.
What made you join Oita Midtown Channel?
Kubo Sensei. Shout out to, well, I shouldn't say the name, but yeah, Kubo Sensei. I said it already. So I was already working for TV, for NHK. Like I said earlier to the others, I work for a TV station in Japan. I work for OBS and NHK. And so it was known through the university that I work for TV and that was my goal. And so I had experience. And well, I guess the teacher, Kubo Sensei, was contacted by the government or some stuff. And then you had to find students to produce a YouTube show. And then I was contacted through him.
It was a little bit different for me though, because like one day my friend, like Selena, who used to be part of the team, she asked me like, can I lend your equipment, your camera equipment for tomorrow's shoot? So I was like, well, I can go. I mean, I can lend you, but I need to go there because I don't want to like lend my camera equipment to people that I don't know. So I didn't really know Tony beforehand. So I was like, okay. So I joined the shoot on the first day of their shoot, and then like we had a member of like 5 before I joined, and then like Tony said, look, I really appreciate your your skills and things. So, well, I naturally joined the team, and one of us left. So
well, it was the beginning, so we all had to adjust ourselves. So the team was, some people were coming and quitting just because we have to adjust how to do the work.
Yeah. So
and I knew I could trust Melvin right away. So Melvin joined through that, and then we're basically 2 leaders now. He came as a foreigner and ended up as a leader. So that's pretty cool. So. Well, I think it's the first time. We don't have questions in the chat, so if you have more questions, just go for it. New students, anyone. Again, it's a free live chat for everyone to ask questions, so we answer it as soon as we see it. This is not to do promotion or whatever. This is just to have a great conversation with you guys. So if we have new viewers, I just noticed we got 5 viewers in 2 seconds. So the new viewers, just if you have questions, just ask it in the chat, and we'll answer it right away. Be respectful, and you can also have a conversation between yourself. Thank you.
Next question to you. What is the most stressful thing when making these videos?
Stressful things. Yonne, you will know about this. I almost died of stress doing this TV show. But it's all about working with the people, like getting people to work together. It's so hard. It's really hard because you're used to doing baito. You have your boss gives you a job, you do the job. But when you become the leader, when you become that guy, it's like you give job to someone, for example, but they just don't want to do it, for example. It's just late or it's just not clear. And obviously, you have to take responsibility to make it move, to make it work, right? Yeah. So I guess just this feeling of having the whole responsibility on your shoulder. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's the whole editing part, because I didn't know a lot about. I actually didn't know anything about editing. I only edited 1 video.
Yeah, so true far. Story. This guy didn't know how to edit the first time he joined. I forced him. I did force him.
So that was very stressful, to think about the whole editing thing. And also, to coordinate the whole team. It's very stressful because, you have to, obviously we are not professionals, so we have to make a lot of preparation for one shoot. Yeah. So I think that was very stressful for us.
Because it's not only following us around and doing the camera work, it's also editing. And becoming a leader, sometime when I'm not available because I work for other jobs, then I have to tell him, can you do this for me? So then his job is twice as hard as mine now.
It was a lot of new experiences for us.
By the way, Yone followed up the question. He created, I see. Follow-up question, what do you think people should do who are interested to come to Japan but that speak only English? Well, if you come to Japan and only speak English, I feel like from our generation and up, and onwards, most Japanese have a good basis of English and they're not scared to use it as much as it's said. But definitely the older generation sometimes will get scared. They don't know how to speak. They're just uncomfortable with speaking English, right? So if you come to Japan and you want to survive while you're traveling, try to get younger people. Ask questions to younger people. And but don't be scared to approach people. Right?
Yeah, true.
A lot of people are oh, I don't want to be rude to Japanese. I don't know how to approach them. We're humans. There's such this kind of aura around Japanese, but you can just talk to them. They're not,
Yeah, true.
So that's the biggest advice. Just don't be scared to ask questions, even if you're annoying. Japan is a beautiful country, so just come here, and if you have problems, ask a foreigner or ask a Japanese. Yeah.
Our team right here, he asked, do you think being humble is a good or bad feature?
Damn, he's going with the, okay.
That's a very difficult question to answer.
I see you.
I would say, to some extent, if you're being too humble, you're losing opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to promote yourself more at some point.
I had a talk with them just early, not too long ago, but fake it till you make it is true. Being humble is nice, right? When someone gives you something, be humble about it. But at the same time, it's you have to recognize your strength. If you're good at doing something, then yes, you are good. And you don't have to say, oh, I'm not too good. I'm not too. Be humble, but don't be, don't be shy to say yes, that's my strength, and I can do probably a better job than this guy, for example. You'll lose opportunity if you're too humble to get the opportunities. I think that's my one thing that I also in Japan. I'm not humble, but I'm shy to take opportunities, and I'm trying to work on that as well.
True.
Damn, we're getting into the philosophical question. I like it. I like it, Tim. Keep the question, Tim. You're going good. Like it.
Okay, here's another question for you. What are your future plans for the channel?
Well, I was waiting for the announcement, but we're coming to the 6 p.m. mark. 30 minutes left to the chat, so that was really quick. So we had an announcement that we wanted to do at the end, but most people that are watching now, I guess, know about it. But we're having a season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Oita Midtown Channel, and the follow-up will be kind of the same as first season, but
just the two of us mainly.
Yeah. And so it's the two of us with a guest, depending on the corona situation, obviously.
Well, yeah, like the future plans, because we are more, free to travel around places, because you don't have like a whole group of people.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell you about this, but there are places in mind that I am planning on going. But like for example, like places like African safari can be good for video.
Yeah,
like it's a very interesting place.
Yeah.
If you want to know that place, you can look it up. But obviously, in the future, we're gonna post a video, so that's gonna be better if you actually watch a video rather than looking at pictures.
From the feedback we had, season 1 was a bit like too many episodes at once, and it wasn't scheduled properly. So we talked with the company, and we said, listen, we want to go with a full YouTuber style of videos, right? So we did uploads that were kind of all over the place. So now we're going to have one upload every single week, like weekly uploads on Sunday, I think we can say.
Starting on
18.
18, yeah.
Okay, I just didn't want to make a mistake. Yeah, 18 is the first episode of season 2. So April 18th is the first episode. We did not decide. Oh, are we going to post this one?
Yeah, you tease them about what we're going to see.
Listen, we how can I say that without saying too much? We hired a professional Japanese actress, or newscaster, or announcer, whatever you want to call it. She's a professional. She works for a TV station. She makes the money from the TV, right? She's a pro, and she's on the show. I'm not too sure if it's first episode. We didn't talk about it too much, but I guess
it is gonna be the first episode.
Well,
yes.
The editor decided it is the first episode.
Yes.
So first episode will have a too big for me guest. I'm always the one interviewing people, but now I felt like it was the other way around. She was really good, very beautiful. It's a Japanese date around the sakura in Oita
on the 18th.
Don't tell this to my girlfriend. I do it for television. So first episode, 18th of April, coming out on Sunday. Yes.
We talked about having guests on the video earlier, like on our future videos. So
Announcement.
I have a question. How can I? So someone asked me, how can I be your guest in the video?
Yeah. By the way, for the questions we look on the computer, these are questions that we compiled from Instagram. So people on Instagram that sent us questions, thank you. So for this question, people that want to be a guest, that's a question we get a lot of time. We talked about it in the beginning of the podcast. So usually it was our close friends that we invited on the show just for work purposes. It's very hard to work with people you don't know, like getting them around, and people that we know we can trust them, right? But for season 2, we're going all in, where it's me and Melvin. It's very easy to manage. We know each other. 21 people. Thank you for joining, 21 people. We know each other, so it's very easy to manage. So any new students, people we don't know, if you're in Oita or Beppu, just send us a message on Instagram.
Anyone kind enough to write our Instagram?
Write on Instagram in the chat. Just send us a message, and listen, we'll go through your profile and we'll check your personality. Because obviously, when we do a kind of episode, we try to match their personality with the location we're going. So obviously, if we're going somewhere very feminine, then we want a very feminine person. But if we're going to the mountain, then we might get a woman that's more into hiking, or a man as well. It doesn't. Obviously sex doesn't matter.
Yone, can you write our Instagram in the chat?
Yone, it's your job. Please write our Instagram. So if you want to be on the show, Tim, today you really helped. You get your invitation. That's official.
Yeah, just hit us up.
So everyone, Tim, say your congratulations to Tim. Tim, you are on the show for the well, not next, or maybe next. Well, you guys will see. And
my friend asked, with COVID around the corners of both Japan and the world, how much would it affect tourists tourists who would want to go to Oita
Good job,
or Japan
Harris.
for holidays?
We covered around the corners both Japan and the world. How much it would affect tourists who would want to go to Well, obviously, for now, I mean, you cannot even enter Japan. Example, I might have had to go back to Canada, and I looked, and there's not even a flight to Canada yet. So Like, there's not even airplanes flying there. So, I mean, the best example is the Olympics, which the Olympics are happening in Japan, but there's not going to be any tourists or foreign visitors, only athletes. So how does it affect? I mean, how does it affect? I mean, this right now is your chance to watch videos on YouTube about Japan and learn about stuff that you wouldn't see, right? If you want to come to Japan, you would go to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, maybe Nara. Now it's the time to try to find smaller channels that might present to you a new place in Japan.
Well, I hope that tourists are able to come to Japan very soon.
Yeah.
But, like, it affected tourists a lot. Like, for example, my family planned to come to Japan, like 2020 spring. So because of COVID, like that's when the COVID was really bad, right? So they couldn't come to Japan. They had to cancel the trip. So a lot of people had the same experience. So it was really, devastating.
Yeah. It's just like the industry is really destroyed. Like, for example, in the beginning of the pandemic, they were giving out to students many, food goods that, like they were expecting to sell to tourists, but when the tourists couldn't enter the country anymore, there was an overload of like goods, and they had to give it to students basically because they cannot sell it and they're gonna have to throw it away. So instead of throwing it away, what they did is they gave it to the students in Beppu. And I got a lot of, actually, thank you to these companies. I got a lot of like cup ramen and stuff.
Cup ramen.
Yeah. True story.
Which onsen do you think is the best in Oita?
I knew this question would come. The doom question, which is the best onsen in Oita?
Okay, you think about it while I answer.
Yeah, go for it.
So the best onsen with the best scenic view would be called Musoing. It's in Yufuin. It's my personal opinion, so it's up to you to decide if it's good or not. But it has like a very big onsen. It's a lot bigger than the usual onsen that you will find. It's outdoors, so you have all the scenic view to yourself, and then you have like the Yufu mountain at the background as well. Very beautiful, very relaxing. I really recommend it. Yeah. It's in Yufuin City.
Sure. Yeah, like for people that like, it depends on what kind of personality you are. Like for me, I'm more of I guess I'm like a view more than the experience, right? So if I go to an onsen, I'm gonna try to have an onsen with an outside view, right? Rotenburo in Japanese. So like I was saying, and we were talking about it earlier, like there's so many, what do you want of your onsen? You want a beautiful view, a beautiful onsen water, or you want kind of the experience, right? So my favorite would be a secret onsen, they call it Hito, and it's like the secret onsen. In Beppu we have three secrets onsen. These are my favorites, but if I'm looking for a view, then I might go for a Shioyu, the salt onsen, right? Shio onsen maybe, which is close to
Saiki.
Yeah, it's close to Saiki City, and it has ocean view. So you enter the onsen and you have ocean view, right? And if I'm going for more of a relaxed atmosphere with no view, just like going there with my bud, then I don't know, like maybe I would just go to a Sento public bath. I love
Definitely,
public bath.
Yeah, it's cheap and fast and relaxing.
Well, when you come to Oita, you might find your own onsen personality.
Right. Is Oita Midtown a good channel to experience Japan?
Yes.
Well, Japan as a whole, it's very difficult to say, but you get a really good picture of what Japan is from our foreigners' perspective. So if you want something that's presented by a foreign view, it's a really good channel, but it's more focused on Oita as a whole. So if you're interested in places outside of Oita, obviously you can check out other channels or videos, but Oita has a lot to offer, so it's really a good channel if you want to refer to the places in Oita. Yeah.
By the way, if you can share, we're going to it's going down a little bit, the viewers are going down, but we're going on the last 30 minutes. Can we have the last sprint all together? Let's have a good experience. Good question, Tim, Yonne, thank you for the question. Harris as well. In the beginning we had more questions, but I think some of them might have something else to do, which is fine. So if you can ask your friend to join us, please don't leave us alone. We're having a good conversation. And I think I'm going to answer the question as well. Oita Midtown Channel is good. We're not producing the best content out there. We're not the best actors out there. We're not the best editor out there. But I think like we're very good at giving like perhaps like a perspective that you might not see. And it's a very good completion to like if you want to travel to Japan, Like you don't want to focus everything on one channel. For example, the big channels, right?
Yeah.
Abroad in Japan by Chris, for example, or Dogen is a big one as well. If you focus all your view on these people, then you might have a skewed view, right? But you want to try to broaden, so we're more of a complete your opinion channel, right? Watch it, enjoy the character, like you enjoy Silva, for example, right? I think Silva is very enjoyable to watch. Selena as well, don't get me wrong.
Next question is an interesting question. Do you actually see ghosts in mixed onsen?
If I see girls in mixed onsen, women. If I see women in mixed onsen. Guys, do you want to know the true answer? Yes.
The straight up answer is yes.
Yes. Personally, I go to mixed onsen quite often, like, you know, the one I'm talking about, right? Hebingyu, which is an onsen we've been, and there's an episode about it. Yonne has been there with Silva. Hebingyu is a secret onsen. It's really not that known. And yeah, I mean, women just go in naked, and it's very normal.
Wow.
Surprisingly.
I do not know if you ask this question because you want to be with them or you do not want to be with them, but like most of the times you don't see as many women as you do compared to, you know, men. But like the people who come here, you know, can range from all ages.
Yeah, like I go to this onsen, like, well, I used to go more, but now I go less because the road is getting very hard to go there, so it's not really good for my car. But like, yeah, I mean, in Japan, it's like, it's very normal for men to get naked in front of each other. But even at the secret onsen, for example, right? There's this very respectful relationship between men and women when you go to bath. It's like, bath is for bathing, and like, people respect that. They respect the borders of each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The next question, recommended outdoor activities in Oita. What do you recommend?
Hiking, barbecue, and having a picnic next to the river. I guess we have very beautiful outdoors and beautiful fields. Again.
Yeah. So, right. Well, plateau.
Yeah, kind of plateau. We have a lot of plateau in Oita and Kumamoto as well. Very beautiful, super wide areas. Enjoy it. Everyone, when you watch my Instagram, like, oh, Tony, how do you go there? Tony, how do you go there? Go to the plateau. Nice views, and you can enjoy picnic. Sorry, but
my favorite outdoor activity will be definitely hiking.
Yeah.
We have a lot of interesting mountains to climb. Yeah. Some very easy, some very difficult, challenging. So like you go to different mountains, you get different views, and you know, some mountains can be like, you know, the highest in the whole of Kyushu area. Yeah, which is Kuju Mountain.
Like Yufudake as well. Like, there's all types of mountains for all types of people. There's also mountain you can almost go to the top with your car. So like for people that might have problem with their knees or problem with their back, whatever it is, like it's accessible to everyone.
And the best thing about it is that, you know, there are 4 seasons in Japan. So every season that you go, you have different view. Like for example, if you go in the spring, you get like freshly blooming flowers. And in the autumn, you have autumn leaves, and in the winter, you have snow as well.
Enjoying the season, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like every season has something different.
There's even the mountain where the lake freezes in the winter, and you can do ice skating. Like the mountains, so the mountains are going like there's like a bunch of mountains, right? And it creates like kind of a cup in the middle. So you're about 1 kilometers high in the mountain, and there's actually a lake that freezes, and then you can ice skate there. So people bring their skate while they're hiking, and then they go ice skating.
Kuju Mountain, by the way.
Kuju Mountain, that's right.
Yeah.
So, you have some more questions? People, if you have questions, keep asking questions in the chat. We're still watching the chat through the phone here. So.
I still have quite a bit of questions. Would it be difficult for non-native... this one was answered, so let's go to the next one. いまだに馴染めない日本の文化 Japanese culture that you still can't get used to.
Yeah. Points in Japanese culture that you don't get used to. Oh my god, okay.
Can you start first?
Sorry. There's some Japanese in the room.
I think, like, do you want to start first?
Maybe. No, go first.
Okay, so as a half Japanese, I'm kind of like used to the whole Japanese culture already, right? But, you know, I was not really exposed to the drinking culture in Japan. So it was really, really shocking to see how much people like to drink in Japan, like drinking alcohol, not drinking tea.
Yeah, if you go somewhere, you will drink.
Yeah, like even for us students, they go like, oh, do you want to go somewhere? Let's drink or whatever. Like most of the time people drink in restaurants. So I personally don't drink alcohol. So if you go to restaurants and all and they start like offering you drinks and all. And even if you go to someone else's house, they'll be like, oh, let's drink. Yeah. So that's something that I still can't get used to. It's not like I need to get used to it. Though.
Yeah. Like, they're not really bad points. But for example, me, right? I think we talked about it before. One of the points I'm not used to is like, you know, in Japan, you get like very safety first, right? Mm-hmm. Anzen daichi, right? Yeah. So everything, you have insurance, hoken, right? But in the car, children can be in the back with no seatbelt. じゃあ安全第一じゃないってこと right?
Yeah.
Why are they so focused on being safe, but sometimes they skip this, they turn an eye to something, right? There's a lot of things in Japan like this where everything is respected. Oh, but we always did it that way, so we'll keep doing it that way, right? Mm-hmm. Which is, sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's kind of like a contradiction. And I guess like sometimes it just like buzzes my head. I'm like, oh, what the hell is this, right?
Yeah, true.
But most of the things that I'm not used, I just like, oh, my background makes me think this is weird, but you shouldn't think that way, right? It's just a different culture, and they do it a different way, and just accept it, right? You don't have to agree with it, but just go along with it. And some things you don't have to go with, right? Like when we don't have to get into the subject, but there are some things that you don't have to agree with.
Mm-hmm. But I remember you telling me about this thing called what do you call that? Izakaya, the Japanese pub.
Yeah.
Did you say pub? Yeah,
pub.
Yeah. So like children being in.
In Canada, it's actually illegal to bring your child or children into a bar, for example, or some stuff. But in Japan, like you're gonna go to a like just a get drunk bar. you just go there. You go there to get effed up, right?
As a kid, you get surrounded by drunk people.
Yeah,
I personally experienced that before.
I mean, it's normal. For example, in Canada, my dad would drink in the house. They have a party, and I'll be there, right? It's fine. But in Japan, it's like they go all the way to bring in their children to the bar, which I mean, it's a culture thing. So if they're fine with it, like there's like 2 or 3 families all together, they all get super smashed, and then the childrens are there playing.
Well, if you're like 7 or 8, it's oftentimes very overwhelming to be in the surrounding.
Yeah. How about, can I ask like people in the chat, like for example, Yone or Tim, if you're still there? I don't see Tim talking anymore, but if anyone in the chat, can you share your experience? What is one thing that you didn't get used to in Japan? Mm-hmm. Even if you've been just living for 1 year, your opinion is worth it. So just type in the chat, please.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do we move on to the next question, or do you want to say something else?
I'm good. I mean, we've been talking for almost an hour and 30. I'm good.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Sure.
What do you wish you knew before coming to Oita?
This is a question from Savina that she asked on Instagram. Thank you, Savina.
What do you wish you knew before coming to Japan?
Misty says, "Man in the White, I love you. Love you too."
Man in the White. We are both Men in White.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's talking about you.
Nah. It has to be you.
So you said your question is, what do you wish you knew before coming to Japan, Oita? I wish I knew like not how people are nice, but how they're generous and trusty of you. Mm-hmm. Like if you go to someone's house in Japan, they're gonna give you like a toothbrush with toothpaste. They're gonna give you like a new bed sheets. Everything is like prepared for guests. They're really thoughtful. And like if you go into someone's house, for example, 100% they will give you tea, right?
Tea.
They're gonna say, "Oh, ocha irimashou ka," right? Mm-hmm. Like this kind of small attentions that just pile up. Mm-hmm. Like I knew they were kind, but I wish I had known they were very generous and trusty of you. Like it was one of the things that was very bugging me in the beginning, like going to Japan. I was like, am I gonna be left alone in the city? Definitely not. Japanese are very nice. They're not gonna say, hey, do you want to come sleep to my house, right? They're not like this crazy.
Yeah,
but
it's important to know that you can rely on people a lot in Japan.
Yeah.
They're gonna help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so don't be shy to ask for help in Japan.
What
about in Oita though?
Tim said I was AFK for a while. Sorry, I didn't get used to Japan. Sorry, okay, never mind.
What about in Oita? Like, what was surprising for you in Oita?
I wish I knew Oita was that great. It's simple as that. When I came to Oita, I mean, I knew it was like a lot of scenic spot, but there was so many hidden gems. Like, insane.
Yeah, even for Japanese people, Oita itself is not a very well-known place in terms of what we have to offer. Mm-hmm. So before even coming to Oita, I asked people like, what do Oita have to offer? And they're like, I don't know, there's not much. But after you come into Oita, people you soon realize that you get great nature, you get great seafood, sea food as well, like a lot of great food in Oita, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's not just onsens.
Yeah. And for like, obviously I speak Japanese, right? But for foreigners that don't speak Japanese, like this is maybe one thing you should know about Oita, is like they're very nice to people that don't speak Japanese, more than most city. Like if you don't speak Japanese in Kobe or Osaka, where I used to live in Neagawa, which is the place I used to live in Osaka, it's a bit harder to get around without speaking Japanese. And this is why I learned Japanese too. Almost like, I got my N1 almost 3 years ago now. And like, it was one of the reasons. But if I had come to Beppu, you don't even need to some extent, right? They're very nice, and like if you come, don't be scared to come to Oita. And Yonne, my friend, shared his opinion. He said, surprising thing in Oita was that there is no information about it, but it's full of treasure.
Sure. Exactly.
That's exactly what I meant. Yeah, exactly. And he said, I have not gotten used to the lip service in Japan. Lip service?
I think he meant like, people complimenting and stuff.
True. Like the homekotoba, right?
Yeah.
In Japan, you'll feel like a god. They're like, they'll tell you that you're good at everything.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
You say the slightest bit of Japanese, they will say that your Japanese is great.
If you can barely say konnichiwa, it's fine. They'll say, oh, your Japanese is perfect. You're native.
Definitely, yeah.
And Yone or any foreigner like Tim as well, you can confirm. He said, do you think it's this kind of southern hospitality?
Southern hospitality?
Like being kind of giving tea and whatever it is. Well, in Kobe, I had kind of the same experience.
I think the whole of Japan is quite a bit the same.
There might be some things in the southern, like Kyushu is where we are.
People are more relaxed in Kyushu.
I think people are more relaxed. Like people are maybe gonna be more scared to let you in the first time they meet you when you're more in like Kobe and Tokyo. But in Kyushu, it's more like, hey bro, just come in my house. Like some people don't even knock; they just enter the house and stuff. So
we have seen a lot of great people in Oita. Like even for me, I am always worried about if they, would be angry at us for, just for nothing. And it turns out like when you speak to people, people are really, really nice. So like for example, we went to Kumamoto yesterday together.
Yeah, we did.
We did actually, and we went to like a really little convenience store, and even the lady was very nice. I thought like just because we are foreigners, they're gonna like don't like us because of the COVID situation and everything.
Yeah, true.
But she was very, very nice to us. So like
she even put the boiling water for Yonne, and she
she even made cup noodles for Yonne and everything. So really nice hospitality right there. It comes from the heart. That's what it matters.
And I think there's a lot of it that might come also like from the natural disasters. So people that don't live in Japan, maybe there's some people that don't live in Japan in the audience, but like Japan has a lot of natural disaster, whether it's like landslides or typhoon or earthquake. I've been through all of them already. Like I felt 5.5 earthquake, and then landslides in Kyoto in 2018. It's really insane, and but right away the answers that you have is like all your friends are gonna text you, are you fine? Do you need anything? Right? Definitely. Right away, right? And I think the 2011 earthquake really kind of shook up Japan as well into like helping your neighbor, because I really didn't have good feedback. Before I came to Japan, people were like, Japanese are very closed, they're not gonna let you in. It's a closed country, but it's actually not that true. It's really not that true. It's worth getting out of your way and try coming to Japan, and don't be scared.
Let's move on to the next question.
We have a question here actually.
Okay.
By Misty Wisty. I'm not too sure that is. I'm really interested where she's from. Misty Wisty, if you can write, where are you from? How did you find the channel? Please let us know. She said, why is it Asian cultures in general value humility? The West is so different. I've always wondered why. In movies, this is one thing we never talked about it. It's not cool in Japan to be like the superhero. It's cool to be like the underdog, kind of. And stories like Kimi no Na wa, for example, right? They never ended like a super love story. They kiss each other and it's beautiful. There's always like this kind of mystery, almost sad. It's like, it's not really, like it's, like there's heroic, like Harry Potter, for example, is like the god. Like he's coming in, he's doing all this stuff by himself. But in Japanese movies, it's not that much that case. And I don't know where it comes from, but it translates in all of their culture as well, all the way to the movies and their songs. So I'm not too sure, but definitely it made me more humble to all the things I get coming to Japan, right? There's a lot of, I can do this when you're abroad. But coming to Japan, it's more like, I don't know, humble.
Well, I can't answer this question because I'm Asian. I'm fully Asian, so I don't really know how to answer this question.
Oh, Daisuke joined. Thank you for joining, Daisuke. But you're kind of humble, but I mean, it's because you're half probably. It comes from your mom.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
My friend noticed that you two are still students in APU in Japan. As someone who's not from Japan, what was your first impression when you guys have to move to Japan for studies being far from your homeland?
Okay, I'm just gonna reread the question. Well, I didn't move to Japan to study. Oh, she's from Washington DC. I just went to randomly type in podcast. Amazing, Miss Steve. Thank you for joining. It's a very small project. We're happy it's the first podcast. Thank you. If you have friends, we still have about 10 minutes going. So,
thank you, Missy.
Yeah, Harris. Well, I didn't come to Japan to study. I was already working in Japan, and I came to travel. But first impression. I'm gonna stick to the studying in Japan. My first impression so far from home is like the university life in Japan is really different. Like this whole of the campus life, right? This close community. Although APU is a very close example of an American university, it's still pretty far from the American Pie, for example, the movie American Pie. People that have seen it. Like,
yeah.
Well, they're not really in college, but sort of. It's different.
I think you spend more time in university in Japan. Like you have all your extracurricular activities.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of American students don't actually work. Well, Canadians, I'll talk from my personal opinion, but Canadians, they either work small jobs until they graduate, but in Japan it's like a lot of students actually like work their off, right? Without swearing, but a lot of people work. They don't spend too much time at university, but as you said, extracurricular activities is really important in Japan, right? Having a circle, they call it circle in Japan, but joining a circle is like super important in Japan.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Oh.
But yeah.
Any good or bad job ethics in Japan? Well, the good one is that people are very professional about the job.
Yeah. Even if they're just like cleaning toilets or...
Yeah, they take things very seriously.
Every small job is very important.
They're very into the details.
Yeah. And people are respectful of like... We see we try like in Canada, this personal experience again, but I feel like cleaners are always being looked down, or like just like jobs that seem very not that useful. They're just here to complete the company, right? They're not making any profit. They're being looked down. But in Japan, it's like you're almost saying thank you to the people that clean, or the people that just give you the ticket, for example, or the people at the parking.
Even the bus driver, the train conductor. The bad job ethic will be too professional. You stress yourself out too much when you are being too professional.
You get almost cramps. When I used to work for the first time for the company,
people work too much.
It's like the way you approach the customer has to be done, the way you move your hands has to be done. For example, like in Japan, when you stand up, you have to put your hands like this, but you cannot put it like this because that's kind of police. It's like authority.
Yeah.
Like this is much more comfortable. You're just like chilling, just like laying back. But no, in Japan, it's like you have to be like this, and then like.
I mean, it's all about manners, but there are at the same time, there are a lot of rules that are not really, applicable for the modern culture.
Yeah, but it's changing. With the new, like a lot of Japanese teenagers watch YouTube and stuff, right? So they really get into the American culture quite early. So I think Japan is changing at a much faster rate than perhaps in the past. And we get many questions, sorry.
You always wear a nice cap, I like it.
Thank you. Should I show it to the camera? Is it over there? There you go. That's from Quebec. So very limited. By the way, this is my hair. I'm not going bald yet. I'm not going bald, as you guys can see. I'm not going bald.
He is.
I am?
Yeah.
Crap. Don't tell it. So that's why I wear a cap today, because it's a chill environment. I didn't want to be too serious. Thank you for joining.
Our high school / university experience similar to those.
And Yone just goes with the no.
No. Well, you shouldn't take animes for reference.
Yeah. I always said like people that take animes as a reference while coming to Japan are the number one people to get disappointed about Japan.
Well, but it's not. It's much like the whole scene in high schools and universities is much more complex and darker than you think. It's not always rainbows.
Yeah, anime is basically just like an American movie. Like, you don't see one character beating everyone down until the end, right? He's gonna fall at some point, just like in real life. And it's the same for, just don't build your expectations about what you see on the screen, and just come here and enjoy the culture.
There are a little bit of a realism to an extent, but you don't believe everything that you see on anime, because obviously that's what it's made for. It's to entertain people.
Yeah. Like, I personally never watched anime before coming to Japan. I mean, I watched Naruto when I was, I think 8 or 9. It was on television in Canada, so I used to listen there. But
yeah, so you don't see ninjas everywhere.
So there's all types of people that come to Japan. You don't have to like anime. You don't have to like Japanese history. There's just people like me that have no basic interest in Japan, and I come here and I'm like, okay, that's where I'm gonna spend my life, because yes, I'm gonna stay here for a while. But anyway, I think you only just asked a question.
Nah, he's just answering.
Okay, he's talking about the perspective of anime.
Let's move on to the next question. We have a very limited time.
Yeah, only 5 minutes left. Thank you for.
I think we're gonna have to stay longer than 6:30 now. Top 3 places we have been during the shoot.
Top 3 places during the shoot. So people, again, Oita Midtown Channel. We're making videos about Oita Prefecture. We've been to, how many episodes did we do? I don't even know. But we've been to many places.
9 episodes.
9 episodes, but how many locations? Times 2, I would say, like almost 18, probably. Bit more.
Maybe, yeah, a bit more.
Okay, top 3. Anyway, top 3. Third.
Top 3 places.
Uchinari, number 3.
Uchinari, number 3?
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that, yeah.
Number 2 for me would be Kyokawa, the last episode we've put out. So Uchinari is first episode, Kyokawa is last episode.
That's gonna be my number 1, by the way.
Yeah, and my number 1 is actually the Kitsuki Terrace.
Kitsuki Terrace.
So this is where we ate oysters. So if you look at the thumbnail, you'll see one with the oysters. That's one place we've been. Amazing secret place. It's been built, I don't know the history, but 1 or 2 years ago. The building is really new. And they have oysters made in Oita. Surprisingly big, like my... Get this camera.
Like his palm?
So you see my palm, this way? This is my palm. The oysters is about this big. Oh, we have the YouTube engineer coming for me. Oh, hey. Oi, hello. So this is my hand. So it's almost as big as my hand. So in Hokkaido size oysters are as big as my hand, and they're really renowned in Japan for their size. But Oita has it as well. Thank you.
I think I kind of like the Kijima Kogen, which is an amusement park in Japan.
If you want to see a great reaction, watch it. Yone has the best reaction.
That would be my number 2.
Yeah.
I think it's a very underrated amusement park. I mean, it's not like Tokyo Disneyland or even Universal Studios. It's a really local amusement park. But you got pretty interesting rides, like the first ever wooden roller coaster in Japan.
Yeah, true. The Jupiter.
Yeah.
If you go watch that episode, please do. It's so funny. Before reading Tim's question, I'm going to read Misty Wisty. So she said, I was involved in storming the Capitol building, which happened on my birthday, by the way, January 6th. I'm curious how the Japanese would handle a situation like that with all the politeness. Are the police like that? That's a weird question.
But before the police, I would talk about the people, but people would not be that aggressive.
Yeah, Japanese people are definitely, like, Japanese history is very aggressive. Like in the past with the samurai, there was a lot of war. Japan was basically at war during its whole history. And then after the Second World War, they were very peaceful people. But
yeah, they can be very passive-aggressive.
Yeah, they could be very aggressive, but I don't see Japanese revolting so much. It wouldn't even be an option, I think. Like, Americans are very patriotic, right? I will not give my opinion on what happened. I don't give my political opinion, but what happened at the Capitol is people that really believe firmly in their political view, but Japanese will never be so strong about their political view, right? They will not go as far as that, right?
I mean, even if they were to be, the policemen will be like not as aggressive as the policemen from the other countries. But they're gonna be like.
But you've been to Tokyo, right? You've seen the huge trucks they have, right?
Oh yeah.
So they definitely have the tools to defend the capital in Japan as well. They definitely do.
But I don't think that they're gonna be that aggressive in terms of protecting.
I think, for example, right? You take the people that stormed the capital, and you take these people and you teleport them to Japan, like these Americans with all their sentiments, you put them in Japan and you tell them, okay, storm the capital. Probably the Japanese police would just be like, yeah, done. But at the same time, I would be surprised to see what the Japanese police would do about that.
They will have they won't easily take out their weapons, I would say.
They don't draw the weapon as much as American police because we don't have guns in Japan. You don't have a reason to pull out a gun unless someone pulls out a knife and runs at you. There was something that happened.
Yeah, I watched that news.
A police officer shooting a citizen is going like national news for like a week. It's super big in Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't think police are ready for this. So they do have the tools to defend the capital, but they're not ready. Jonas said Jupiter. Yes, baby, Jupiter. We need to go back. By the way, Showtime came back. Welcome back, Showtime.
Next question. Weirdest or the most unique thing in Oita? I'll start first. I'll say the most weird or surprising thing that I've came across in Oita is that you can get hot spring water from your tap. From your tap.
Oh. Like, you just go ahead, finish. I just remember.
Like normally from the tap you have normal water, right? But from Japanese, in Oita, some of the places in even especially Beppu, they offer tap water from the onsen itself.
Right, I'm just gonna send a message here.
So it's warm water from the onsen, so it's free of charge, obviously. And then it's not everywhere where you can get tap water from onsen water from the tap. So I think that is a very, very unique trait for Oita. Yeah.
So I'm gonna continue on that. So the onsen, for example, me and Yonne, we traveled a lot together. There was landslides in Tsurumi, which is a mountain close to us.
Yeah.
And when the landslide happened, there's actually vents of onsen water, hot springs that open. So the ground, which we're only talking about this, well, maybe a little bit more, right? But anyway, about this amount of soil just slides down and it opens vents. That's how much steam is coming out of the ground, like just naturally. Like if you walk in Beppu City, the aqueducts, the suiro, like the waterways around the city are fuming because the water is so hot that even as it flows down, it's still kind of freaking hot. So you could actually take a bath probably in the suiro at some point. We should do that in an episode. That's an idea.
Actually, my friend asked me when am I going back to Malaysia. Maybe after I take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the summer.
I want to go back in the summer as well, but with the borders, it's so complicated. Anyway, Yonde said, what do you think is the most difficult thing for a foreigner when moving to Japan? And is there anything to make it easier other than Japanese language? Oh, definitely.
Having a Japanese friend in Japan?
Yeah, making Japanese friends is super hard in the beginning because your personality is too strong in the sense that it might scare off Japanese, like you're gonna come too aggressive. Like Japanese don't talk to each other like jumping in front, right? They kind of always keep a distance.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't touch. So there's a way to approach and there's a way to talk. And even if you don't speak Japanese, obviously, there's different tricks. But I would say like learn how to approach a Japanese person and learn how to, even if you speak English, learn how to be able to speak English in a more passive way than aggressive. And learn the manners, like how do Japanese approach each other? How do they treat each other as well?
True.
Yeah.
Mr. Anthony, Mr. Movin, are Japanese girls cute?
Yes. My girlfriend is Japanese.
Yeah, so the straight answer is yes.
Yes.
But even if you go anywhere, it depends on your taste. Like,
yeah.
If you like Japanese girls, obviously you find them cute. If you like, Caucasian girls, you find them cute. You don't find, Asian women.
There's all type of Japanese, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the best example is for me, I was never really attracted not in a bad way, but I never had a personal interest for Asian women. Yeah. And when I came to Japan, it was just like very trivial. But then, they're very pretty just as much as a Caucasian. Like, it's just a different...
The most straightforward answer would be yes.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be a Japanese lady you don't have to be an Asian to like Japanese lady, and you don't have to be the other way around as well. So I said to the people, this is the last question. We'll close the podcast because we crossed the 6 hours and 30.
Let's just finish the questions that were asked before.
Yes.
Like countryside experience in Oita, how do you feel about it?
It's a different Japan. If you live in the city, if you live in, for example, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, whatever it is, if you live in the city and then you come to Oita, it's a different Japan. So the easy way to put it is more like, you know, if you're tired of living in the city and you're looking for something more laid back where you can do barbecue on a daily basis and you can go to the river and the forest is 10 minutes walk from your house, then Oita is perfect.
It's more relaxing. You feel more freedom in the countryside.
Yeah, and you don't have to work as much to pay as much, right? To buy as much, right?
Yeah, but if you really go to the extremes of the countryside, you really have nothing else there.
Yeah,
so it's very difficult to get your supplies and all.
Yeah, deep Japanese countryside is really countryside. Yes. You have more?
Yeah, obviously. Craziest thing that happened since coming to Beppu.
Craziest thing since coming to Beppu. Well, it's gonna be boring, but COVID. Just seeing the whole city go into lockdown and me being locked down so I used to be in the dorm. I don't live in the dorms anymore, but when COVID happens, I was living in the dorm of my university, and we were just locked down. So no kidding, for half a year, I was just in my room. I was forced not to work. I was forced not to go out. I had to send a message to my university when I needed to go buy food and stuff, right? It was really harsh. It was really fun in the beginning. I just played games. I just play games.
I wouldn't say fun though.
Yeah, but it was, that's the craziest thing that happened.
For me, I would say when the rugby 2019 happened.
Rugby.
Yeah.
Let's give the fact. Foreigners drink so much beer that we ran out of beers in Oita Prefecture. They had to order beer. So prefecture is kind of a state, province. They had to order beer from the next door province because foreigners drink too much beer.
Well, before that, to give you a background of what we are talking about, in 2019, there was a Rugby World Cup in Japan. So one of the camps were in Beppu. So there were a lot of foreigners, mainly coming from Australia.
Yeah, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah, places like this, coming to Beppu. So the streets were filled with people like we have never seen before.
Yeah.
Like normally you get people from like Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, Korea to come to Beppu because we are close, right? But normally you won't see any, Aussies.
Yeah, and that's when we learned that Aussies and New Zealanders, they drink a lot.
Yeah,
Too much in fact.
And the streets were filled with people to the point where you were unable to move from a location to another.
Yeah.
That was the craziest thing for me that happened.
True.
In
I didn't think
Oita.
about that. So would you have
unique
more?
food in Oita.
Puffer fish. Fugu.
Oh, well, it's not, local to Oita.
Okay. Local. Well, I would say like the kabosu alcohol. You know kabosu highball?
Kabosu is it's a citrus that you find in Oita, very famous.
Yeah, it looks like a lime. And then this is very unique here. If you go to the convenience store here, where you buy your beer and stuff in the convenience store in Japan, if you come to Oita, you'll get the kabosu highball, they call it. And it's very local, I guess.
I think so too.
Oh, wait, Tim said you didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
Check the Tsujigiri if you want to know about... What was your... Tim, ask it, sorry.
What is your advice to people who come to Japan first time and to not get a kind of Paris
shot? To not have expectations and to be open. Like, if you come here thinking that Japan is like an anime, or if you come here that Japan is just like the samurai history, then you're going to be very disappointed. But if you come here open-minded and like you want to try the festivals and you want to dress in, yukata or kimono and you just want to enjoy the culture, then you'll have a lot of fun. But don't have expectations from what you see in the movies or book. It's like every country. If you think all Americans are like, 4th of July party and fireworks and they drink alcohol from the keg, then that's not America as well. So, every country has its, like henken. Prejudice, yeah. But, there's more to it.
Tim said it's not that question. Well, we don't know what question are you talking about right now.
You said you want to eat tonight. I'll pick you up and then you can ask me over there.
Yeah.
Let's go with the last question. I want just this.
Can you survive only with English everywhere in Japan?
You only asked this. I think you can, but it's not recommended.
Well, yeah. Then I guess that's it for our questions today.
Yeah. Wait. I kind of want to answer the last question. What is your favorite anime?
Favorite anime?
Yes, because there might be some people that love anime. I know Yone and Tim like anime, so let's go with our dreadful thoughts about anime. What's your favorite anime?
I don't think you know about this because you don't
Probably
watch
not.
anime, but I think I like Your Lie in April a lot. Your Lie in April.
I have no idea.
It's a sad romance school life anime.
Yeah.
It's about people for pianists, one violinist and one pianist, and it's just a very sad and sweet story, bittersweet story of high school students, middle school students actually. Yeah. I think they were 15 or something. Like the whole story, the plot was great, the music as well, because I personally played piano, so it was very entertaining for me to watch people, performing.
Yone just approved you. Yone approved you. Well, okay. I said, like I stated earlier, I'm not really an anime fan, but obviously coming to Japan to train my Japanese, I forced myself to watch anime, and I turned out to, like it a little bit. I don't spend too much time on it, but Yone, tell me your favorite anime. Sorry, please do. I would go with, obviously, Demon Slayer was amazing. Naruto is my favorite all time because of like I used to watch it with my brother for like almost 10 years, so there's sentiments down there. But quality wise, like Demon Slayer and Haikyuu, the volleyball anime.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts, and I think we're gonna close on that. Mm-hmm. Those are my thoughts. Yone, please answer before we close the podcast. And then I think that's gonna be about it.
Tony pick me up also. You come to Beppu Station later.
I thought he picked me up, like asked me the question. He said pick me up for going somewhere.
I think he wants to eat dinner with us.
Yeah, I'm really hungry. God damn.
I didn't expect to go out for dinner tonight, but okay, let's go for dinner.
Yeah. So closing in. Mm-hmm. Done. So this is the first edition of Oita Midtown Channel first podcast. Thank you so much for joining. It's really hard to get people to join the podcast. Obviously, it's our first. So like there's some improvements to be done. So our friends that watch the podcast, people that don't know us, he said, I think anime has a lot of sexism in. Yes, but that's also part of Japanese culture. There's anyway, let's not get into that. It's a deep.
It's a little bit of a controversial topic. So
yeah, sexism in Japan is something like you have to come to Japan to also understand the culture before calling it sexism, because
it's not all. So you got to keep in mind is that it's not everything that is what you think it is.
Well, I'm not saying that everything is right, but I don't want to say that everything is wrong as well.
Yeah, I think you got to be a little bit more open-minded about it, and try some animes that are actually
Yeah, take some and leave some.
Yeah, true.
The take some and leave some policy in Japan is very good. It's going to save you from being negative on many views. Mm-hmm. Because obviously I don't agree with many things, but I agree with many things. And anyway, with this great talk, I think it's time to close it up. Thank you for watching. Please give us your feedback. Helping small people start small project is very nice. So thank you for being here for the first edition. Hopefully we'll be as big as Joe Rogan within the next 1 year. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thank you. And I'll see you next time.